The carriage transporting the new recruits arrives at its destination. The northern border fort. The towering fortress was even now, soldiers are sent there for its strategic importance to the royal capital and to combat the rising waves of monsters. Fresh-faced soldiers disembark from their coaches at the foot of a steep ascent to the fort, the first of many uphill battles.
We arrive somewhat away from the fort. Captain Klinger goes on his spiel. Me and the guy who's been friendly with me ask me why I'm so interested in the book the prince gave me. I see he has noticed that, so I tell him it's one world united as one tribe. He understands, calling it a utopia, something I agree with him wholeheartedly, which is when he finally introduced himself as Stroll, Leon Stroll, son of the Count of Halia. But something seems to be going on inside the fort as an injured guard comes looking for help. This doesn't bode well, of course. This might mean our contact is in danger, or worse. But we'll have to see before making assumptions. We make it to the fort, but looking up, there's bellowing smoke, the smell of ash and fire, but also the permeating smell of death. I steel my resolve and open the door.
There it is. That's a human.
Stand your ground! Charging! Pursue! We have to help the survivors.
What in Uchronia is this? These are beyond monsters, disgusting creatures, taking aspects of the human form like legs, but still utterly monstrous. We have to move on though. They'll get in our way, but we'll kill them nonetheless. Sadly, almost everyone in the castle is dead. Even when offered assistance, they'd rather die than have a lesser tribe help. It's sad, but in a way, I was expecting that. Regardless, the mission is still the top priority. I know not if our contact is dead, but that'll have to wait until we've stopped what attacked this fort as we head to the top of the fort. What in Uchronia are humans? What being could create such nightmares? They seem to enjoy the pain they cause. Are they just an offshoot of another tribe? Or maybe a demonic ritual? Is that why this human has the appearance of a man, arms and legs, but then like a rotting, disgusting apple, has vines ripping from its bodies, blades for feet, and that long tongue I wish to cut from its mouth? But it will be a tall task, as we're effortlessly wiped out. Stroll decided to sacrifice himself, but I can't. I won't let that happen.
Stroll! Don't be a fool. Just run for it.
O fate-saddled child, O anguished traveler. Thy fate is crown-twined, thy soul bound for the throne. The future yet unknown dawns in this moment. Thy path may fork, but only one may be chosen. Confront the threat before thee, or die here in obscurity. Now choose.
I choose.
So be it. Heroism lies in the soul that stands firm against its fears. Power awaits thy command. The time is come to awaken the hero within. Engrave thy very heart.
It seems my voice has reached the heavens, but I won't complain with what I got. I will destroy that vile thing. Since this is a tutorial boss, there's not too much to really say other than I handed it its ass. We break each part of its body and then finish him off.
Wind!
With the human defeated, a voice talks to me deep in my heart. I do not know what it is, but it's saying that I've awakened the true spirit of a hero, and I heed that knowledge. More importantly though, Stroll survived. I tend to him, but I'll admit, I am not a medic, so I mainly hoped it wasn't fatal wounds. As our contact arrives, Gallican recognizes him and tells us we should move as the smell of blood will attract monsters, and thus we head into the forest. With a peaceful place chosen, we get to talking. It seems that Gallica and our contact, an older man who's named Grius, have known each other for some time, but with formalities done, Gallica gave him the message: avenge the king and kill Luis Guillerburn. He seems more than happy to do it, and we even shown him the current state of the prince, the thorns wrapped around his slumbering body, ready to consume him at any moment. Apparently this Luis person is the one who did such a cruel thing to the prince, but I'll be honest, I don't know who Luis Guillerburn is. I know people hold him in high regard, but that's it. Thankfully, Grius is happy to tell, even if he seemed baffled.
About 15 years ago, a child enlisted in the army. But it wasn't his age that had people talking. It was his ruthless military genius. Hero to some, monster to others. Luis Guillerburn, a prodigal tactician and a master of Magla arts. Some said it was only a matter of time before he made general. The young...
Until he attacked the prince.
That night, when the prince's quarters were breached, it was no ordinary mage who cast that fatal curse. It was Luis Guillerburn himself. But the son's death wasn't enough for him. Now he's got the father's blood on his hands. And if that king-slaying fiend ends up on the throne, we're all doomed.
But when we were exploring the royal capital, there were a lot more Luis supporters than I expected. How can they still trust him after all that?
Luis is cunning. He left no evidence. Accuse him as you will, but the allegations wouldn't stick. All they could do was send him as far away as possible. A post in the middle of nowhere. Plenty of soldiers never believed the charges in the first place. When they look at him, they see a capable veteran unjustly made into the noble scapegoat. Most think the Royal Army was at its best when he was in charge. And in truth, it's hard to deny. Without him, we'd never have crushed the rebel uprising so quickly. Damn the man. But he's earned his titles. He's mastered the blade, magic, and he's clearly intelligent. To the masses who want change, he seems the savior they need.
If even you're that worried about him, this isn't going to be easy.
With his talk over, the battered and bruised Stroll gets up, wanting in on the mission, as Grius, understandably, is ready to strike him down. Stroll isn't one to back down, must be a part of his noble blood. Though I agree with Gallica, the more hands we have, the better. Grius asks why he would save me, and it was confirmed. He will live and die a noble. With that, Grius relents. With Stroll joining us, a team of misfits are ready to kill an Archmage. Somehow. Though, we're limited on the ways to get there since the world thinks we're dead, and will likely kill us if they found out we weren't, so we will go by the abandoned mine tomorrow, and go from there, and thus, we make camp for tonight. Now that we have a moment to talk, we learn more about humans, which isn't much, just that they're protected by Magala, and your average tribe can't hope to hurt him. And due to that, they've caused untold amount of death to travelers. I still wonder how or who created such abominations. They're simply not from this realm. He also told us the likely way will kill Luis, a quick and simple assassination. I have my doubts, but doubting will reduce the chance of it working, so I'll hope for the best. As the night draws to an end, me and Gallica talk more about the events that transpired, since the ground makes for an awful bed. She heard a voice too, asking her to guide me. I wonder what that's all about. It's like a fantasy, like the book that Gallica wishes for me to read. I wonder what it's all about as I drift asleep.
Well, hello. Nice to meet you. I've been waiting. And now you've acquired a most interesting power. You truly are an intriguing one.
I find myself in a library with a young, pale man. He's the author of the fantasy book I hold close to my heart. When I'm in deep thought with his pages, he has a connection with me, which is how I am here in academia. Alas, the man, named Moore, tells me he is trapped inside the quiet halls, never imagining his voice would reach another's, asking if I'd like to join an alliance. I ask him what it would entail, and it's simply that he wishes to see my powers grow. These powers are called archetypes, and the power in its truest form represents a true hero, but he's never seen someone wield the power I possess, so he believes I will master it, and asked for a handshake. Having this power saved me and Stroll's life, and it will save more lives, so I accept the deal. As we form a bond, with that bond formed, he wishes me well, and we'll see again, something I believe too, as I return to my slumber.